Hey Patriots, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy CRS Firearms. We had a massive win for American sovereignty, and you could even say for the Second Amendment community. Just a couple of days ago, President Trump told the UN and their little globalist, dirty little crew to go pound sand. He yanked out of 66 of their little stupid programs. And before we dive into exactly what these programs involved, we're going to be talking about one specifically. Don't forget to shop at OnlyTacticalFans@Shopify.com. As you all know, I am permanently demonetized from YouTube, and this is how I pay my bills. You guys purchasing cool merch like morale patches, MREs, t-shirts, just cool stuff like that. I'll pay the bills, and you guys get something cool in return. And I appreciate everyone that shopped there. Thank you. I couldn't do it without you guys. I appreciate it. Now, just a little bit of quick history before we get into all of this and what's going on. This isn't the first time the globalists have tried to use the UN for basically their heavy lifting for gun control. Since they keep failing on the American scene, well, they were like, well, hey, we'll just make America sign a peace treaty with the UN, and, well, now they're forced to do it. If you guys don't remember, in the Obama era, the UN came out with the ATT. Basically, it was you're going to tell us what kind of small arms you have. There's going to be a worldwide registry, and this is going to be to stop terrorists and bad actors from getting guns, because that's what registries do, right? Yeah, we all know that's not what registries do. It's backdoor gun control. Basically, they want to know who's got the guns and where they are, so when they come in with the little stupid little blue helmets, they know exactly who to target and when. It makes it more efficient, and you can start targeting people like using lawfare and stuff like that to pull them out of the scenes ahead of time before it becomes a problem. Like, not saying they did that with me. I mean, you can say what you want, but we'll just say they didn't do that with me. They used lawfare to basically pull me out of the scene, disarm me, and make me at mercy to the system. And if they have a registry, they can start targeting people like that. They did the same thing with bank accounts. A whole bunch of people lost bank accounts if they were affiliated with the Second Amendment at all. PayPal, they even came out and did some stuff. They permanently banned me from PayPal, but basically they were saying that if they didn't like your posts or whatever, they were going to start fining you money, like literally taking away your own money. This was all wrapped in that sphere of time. Now, Obama pushed this through. It happened. I forget who all signed on to it. I know Hillary Clinton was involved with this. And he sent it all the way down to Congress to try to get it signed and ratified, so we had to follow this, but Congress didn't sign it. Basically, he waited till the end of his term, and it was too late by that point. Once it got to the Senate, all the pro-gun groups came in. They basically stalled it out. Obama left office. Trump came in. Boom. Trump unsigned it and then got rid of it, which was amazing. If Obama would have attacked this sooner, he might have actually got this signed in by Congress. Who knows? And we could be bound by stupid UN programs. That's ridiculous. It was a direct threat against the Second Amendment, and whether or not you like Trump, he's seen this and he unsigned it, which was pretty awesome. So now you got the little bit of history on it. That was their first attempt. It was upfront, in your face. This is what we're trying to do. Well, America pushed back. Obviously, it didn't work, so they're like, well, we can't do it like that, so how do we sneak around and slip something in there? How do we get our foot in the door? Let's do some quiet stuff. And that was the UN Registry of Conventional Arms. Now understand this, the one that Trump just backed out of, this was to monitor warships, tanks, aircraft carriers, heavy gear, but we all know that that's not what they care about. The whole gist of it was no more spending American taxpayer money on these clowns and their big one world government ideas. Yeah, no, we're not doing that anymore. We got ourselves, okay? Yeah, okay, well, I get it. You know, this is only military gear that you want now, but we all know how this is going to go. It starts with the military gear, just like with the NFA. Oh, we're only going to talk about machine guns. The next thing you know, they're trying to regulate pistol braces or FRT triggers. That's just how the anti-gun commies work. Yeah, we're only concerned about the military gear because people don't argue with that. Well, you know, this incident happened, so we're going to expand on this, and now we're going to include small arms or privately owned firearms into the mix. Again, the NFA started off with, we're only regulating machine guns, and next thing you know, they're regulating drawings on a piece of metal. So in my opinion, this was a victory for the Second Amendment, because we slammed the door shut on any possibility of this. We're not going to tell you what military weapons we have. We're not going to tell you about our 50 cals, and we sure as hell ain't going to tell you about our pistols and shotguns, because those are ours. And it was a loud message, in my opinion, to We have it in the Constitution, which was ratified way before the UN ever existed, and the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. So, unfortunately, what you're asking for interferes with the Constitution, so we're not going to be doing that, okay? Okay? We're cool? You're cool? I'm cool? That's what we're not going to do. Whether or not Trump is doing this intentionally, I don't know. I don't know if he's truly like, oh, I need to protect the Second Amendment. However, intentional or not, I think it's awesome that he's like, hey, we're going to answer to the Constitution, not you bureaucrats in the UN. And the UN, it doesn't have American freedoms first in mind. It never has. The well-being of America needs to come first. After we take care of that, after we're all good, all right, now we can start helping out other people. And I agree with Trump on that. I get a lot of people don't like Trump. You know what? I'll stand with him on that. Let's take care of us first, and after we take care of that, then we can help out other people. But I don't want these globalist communists coming in with backdoor gun control. So you may be asking, why do the commies and the globalists even care about our guns? Does it really matter if I have a Mossberg shotgun? Does it really matter if I have an AR-15? Like on the whole global scale, why does that even matter? So first let's talk about how they're trying to slip it through. What they're trying to do is say that we need to regulate and monitor the small arms across the world because it helps prevent crime, it saves lives, and it stops terrorism, and it's just good all around. Sounds great on paper. Not many people are going to argue with that. But the fact of the matter is it doesn't stop violence. It doesn't stop any of these warlords. They're going to still keep doing what they're going to do. It is not going to at all give human security. No human protections, nothing at all. So now we see what's on paper and what their reasoning is. They're basically what the news is going to push. Why do they keep going after our privately owned firearms? And they do this worldwide. It's not just us. Does it really matter if I have a shotgun or an AR-15 or a pistol? I mean, seriously, does it? And the fact of the matter is, yes, it definitely does. It affects their ability to assert power. If they're like, hey, I need you guys to eat at this bread line, I need you to live in this apartment, work at this job, and I need you to take public transportation because we're going to globalize everything and we want it to be cheaper, and the only way that we can make all this work is if you guys make sacrifices, we could be like, no. We're not going to do that. We're not going to eat at that bread line. We're not going to live in this apartment building, and we're not going to take the bus. I'm going to work here, continue to make my own money, eat at McDonald's if I want to, and I'm going to drive a Hellcat. And that's the whole thing with globalization. You're taking away a whole bunch of people's income and stuff like that and putting it into one spot. You're basically consolidating income to be able to feed everyone, and it just doesn't work without inserting control. And you can't insert control without having a monopoly on violence. That's just the way it is. I mean, real talk now on power. As a matter of fact, every armed civilian, like each state, so we got Wisconsin, we got Illinois, Florida, etc., etc., etc. Each state is the strongest standing military in the world. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, we lack the aircraft carriers, the battle tanks, the Scud missiles, the nukes, all that stuff. But it doesn't matter because you can't occupy an area without boots on the ground, aka small arms. Yeah, they could do train denial. They could bomb a place from a distance. They can have planes fly over and be like, oh, you guys can't have this piece of property. But why? What are you gaining from that? You need to occupy the area. You need to force people to go to this bread line, work at this job, live in this apartment, and take this bus. And the only way you can do that is boots on ground. The sheer number of firearms we have privately owned in America, U.S. citizens, it dwarfs every military on the earth combined. Civilian ownership is roughly 500 million firearms. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. The global military, combined all of their arms together, is about 103 million. 133 million. Apologize for that. Facts got a little buzzy. So 500 million versus 133 million. This is every military in the entire world versus just the United States of America. That's pretty wild, isn't it? In my personal opinion, I believe, and you can probably already tell because of the nature of this video, that the UN's been weaponized. It is completely run by the commies and globalists. Now, Back in the day, the UN kind of made sense because the whole idea was that, hey, we don't want a big power like Russia or China like that gobbling up little countries and building their empire until they hit a point to where they're big enough to take us on. Right now, no one is. Or that's how it was back then. I mean, maybe now somebody could. I still don't think so, but maybe. But we didn't want them to consolidate. Boom, get this country. Boom, get this country. Boom, get this country. Now there's massive global superpower that has endless resources and they can come in and just wipe us out. So we created the UN like, hey, you mess with this little country right here, we're going to step in and get involved. And that made sense back then. But it's not the way it is anymore. In my opinion, it's taken over by globalists and communists trying to push this one world government, and they're using the UN as the springboard for this, the jump off point. Now, maybe it was that way from the beginning. I don't know. I'm not that old. You guys will have to tell me if it was that way from the beginning. But right now, yeah, the UN's dirty. I don't like it at all. I don't think we should really be involved with it at all. It's not doing anything but consolidating power. And you don't want power consolidated, ever. You want the power to lie in the people. That's the way the world and the country, especially the United States of America, runs great, is the people get a choice, they have the power, and the government fears the people. Once the government doesn't fear the people anymore, well, we've seen what happened in the 40s. Yeah, we're not going to go into detail because we've all watched the History Channel. So just to recap before we end this video, so why was Trump's withdrawal from these 66 different UN programs so important? In my opinion, one, it's just a waste of American money. Two, the one program was definitely related around arms, and it always starts out as like the dangerous stuff, and then they weasel their way in. And it just stops and it sends a clear message, hey, you can't mess with any of our arms. And we don't care if it's a tank, we don't care if it's a nuclear weapon, we don't care if it's completely dangerous, all the way down to a little deuce 22 pop gun. We don't care. Nothing at all. You guys don't get any say in it. Constitution is the law of the land. God bless America. That's basically how I see it. So anyway, appreciate you guys watching the channel. If you'd like to help support the channel directly, the best way and easiest way to do that is go down to the links in the description. Click on the Amazon affiliate link. Just by clicking on that link, even if you don't purchase that particular link is for, just clicking on it. And doing the Amazon shopping you're already going to do anyway. I don't kickback for it because you came there off my channel. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.